Because we're talking about things that a person himself, an ordinary person himself, doesn't feel. But we have to develop sensitivity toward it. And to begin with, at the beginning of creation, we were with the force which has created us, the upper force, that has brought us in direct contact, in a constant contact, and an open kind of contact. But in this state, we didn't understand and didn't know, like kind of a body that cleaves onto the upper and by it exists. Suppose like an embryo in the mother's womb and so on. And in order to make us grown creatures that understand the Creator, that will acknowledge Him, that will learn who and what He is, and that will be just like Him in their attitude toward Him like He is toward them. Therefore, there was a restriction made here and a concealment. And it follows that the creatures suddenly are separated from the Creator. Suppose there's the creature, a person or all people, and the Creator, which is the force that controls and governs everything, the only operating force. And actually, that's it. There's only the Creator, the one force, and man that He has created as something that He wants to grow him up to His level and develop him up to His level. And that's all there is. And then, in order to give a person, to allow a person to grow, to give him the possibility to do that, the Creator puts between him and that person a concealment, a kind of a thickness, like a partition, like this thick kind of partition. And then a person, he can't see the Creator behind this wall or partition. And he has to, like, during hide and seek, he has to all the time try and find the Creator in everything that happens to him and in everything that happens in him. Meaning, there is no work in the world besides visualizing or, in short, trying to detect the Creator all the time, trying to find Him in all of my thoughts and all my desires and how I feel and what's going on around me and all that, as things which conceal the Creator Himself from me. That I have to feel that besides the point of myself, out of which I feel only one thing, that the Creator fulfills everything and operates in everything, including me, of course. And this is the work. To take this concealment off and once again return to the certain confident state where I understand, acknowledge, feel, know, through this entire thickness that used to be the concealment, that I've turned it now into a field where it's possible to reveal Him, and this field that previously concealed me becomes a field for revelation. It's called upper worlds and so on. And I, by that, start understanding and feeling Him. Because in each and every concealment, I've made different efforts in order to discover Him. And by that, I get up as a grown-up that understands, that feels just like Him. In whatever He wanted to teach me who He is, I learned it. And then we understand each other, know each other. I feel everything that He wanted me to feel, according to the concealment which He made. because I've corrected the concealment to revelation, and then between us there is reciprocal love, openness, mutual understanding, and then we are in a whole and complete connection. This is actually the entire process that we have to go through. This is actually the whole plan of creation. Later, maybe it's possible in some way to somehow explain it. And in this concealment, there are degrees of concealment, from light to heavy. That obviously this is how it's supposed to be. We learn from the wisdom of Kabbalah why was it done through these 5 stages, where I'm behind these 5 levels of concealment. They're called the worlds, from the word concealment. And I, in order to come closer to the Creator, to understand Him, to get to know Him, I have to every time discover on each and every layer of the concealment Him. I have to reveal Him. And so there are these 5 levels of concealment. Each level is also divided into its 5 parts, and each part into another 5 parts. All in all, 125 degrees. Separating between me and the Creator, yes. That on each and every degree, I have to turn the concealment into revelation, to turn the lack of understanding into understanding, lack of feeling into feeling, and this is how I acquire the qualities of the Creator and by myself change this way. Because on each and every level, not like in our world that a physicist, he reveals something for himself, he stays himself and he reveals something. No. Here, these levels, they change me because the qualities of the Creator are opposite to how I am. Because I'm completely in order to receive and He's completely in order to bestow. And then in order to reveal Him, I need to turn this concealment from reception into bestowal. Because it is in qualities that are opposite to the Creator, then it hides Him. And then I turn this concealment into the very opposite, into bestowal. And that's how I advance. So, these very layers that separate between me and the Creator, I start feeling them from the beginning of my work in my correction. And the nullification, the cancellation of the concealment, and the revelation of the Creator. First of all, an ordinary person, first of all, you have to reveal this, because an ordinary person, he doesn't feel that something's concealed. So I start, first of all, revealing the concealment. I start detecting that it's in me, not between me and the Creator in physical distance, but within me, between my mind and heart and the Creator that should dwell there. The concealment is between my mind and heart? No. Between my mind and heart and the revelation of the Creator, meaning within my mind and heart. And then I, accordingly, really extend and expand my mind and heart onto new qualities. I can't really set an example for it, but let's say somewhat, to some extent. Like we take a child and we start teaching him how to see the world, how to feel the things that he didn't feel previously as a result of starting to work with them. That habit becomes a second nature. Simply as a result of being in touch with something, starting to get some kind of a sensitivity toward it, and so on and so forth. This is actually how it is toward the Creator too. As a result of working on the concealment, through it, we start discovering we start discovering the actions of the Creator over us. But here, I have to be very subtle about it, to relate to it with attentively. Not what I think, but what does he do? What does he want me to think? And not what I want, but what does he want me to want? So it turns out that there is none else beside him. In me, there's only the expert system, so to speak, the point which identifies that everything about me comes from him. Only one small point out of which I look, I examine. Like, we can say that it's like a praiser. That's my work. This is how we have to use our senses and the way we are in life in order to discover the purpose of life. And here, surely, we stumble upon all kinds of different questions. And also, eventually, okay, how do I operate? How do I work? How do I awaken myself all the time? How do I progress? Or at what speed? And can I accelerate my development? And so on, meaning the revelation of the Creator. That's all the work there is. Besides that, a person has no other role in this world.